Lightning App Builder is a point-and-click tool where you can create and customize Lightning pages. You can get to it from the setup by entering App Builder in the quick find box, or you can also click on the gear icon here and edit page to open that selected page in Lightning App Builder. What you're looking at is Lightning App Builder now. On the left here, there is a components pane. In the top section, there are standard out-of-the-box components that are offered by Salesforce. These components are like black boxes. You can only configure them as allowed, but you cannot override or extend their features, meaning that those components are not hackable. Okay, if you don't like something about them, your only option is to go the custom route and to build it from scratch. Okay, and underneath the standard components, there is a provision where you can find the custom components. If your org already has them, this is where you should find them. But if you believe that there must be some custom components already in your org but are not showing up, it is most likely because they do not implement the flexipage available for all page types interface. It's an interface that is available in Lightning. Again, it's called flexipage available for all page types. If that interface is missing, then custom Lightning components will not show up here. But this is not the place where we discuss interfaces in detail, so consider that as just an FYI, please. And then moving on, down at the bottom, there is a button to get custom components from the AppExchange directly. Okay, and note that the components can be configured as long as they allow it. That can be done via the properties panel on the right. Let me show you a couple examples so you better understand. So this component that I've just highlighted is called highlights panel. Okay, and this is a standard Salesforce provided component. Let me close it, remove it from the UI, and show you how to bring it back. In here, there is that highlights panel component. All you need to do is just drag and drop. That's it. So as long as you put this highlights panel component within the context of a record detail, it'll automatically populate the header level information, which is the object name and the name of the account, and followed by some key fields here at the bottom, and also some record level actions that are available for that particular object. Okay, and it can be configured as well. What is configurable? That is available in the properties panel to the right. So there's this checkbox where it says show as collapsed. Watch what happens when I check this box. The key fields, half of the highlights panel, it disappears. Okay, that means it is showing as in a collapsed view, and then there is another button here, another option here where you can specify how many buttons you want to see here up on the top. By default, it is set to 3. Watch what happens when I change it to 5. You'll see 5 buttons, and the remainder of the buttons are automatically squeezed into that drop down button menu. Okay, and let me give you another example. Notice that the default record detail page contains related list views. If I click on this particular component here, notice that it is a related lists component, which is also standard out of the box provided by Salesforce. And let me remove it again from the UI and put it back so you know how to do it. Related lists, and drag and drop it there, and it automatically populates all the related lists as you laid it out in the page layout. in the same exact order, and they're all bundled together. They all go together. Um, but what is also possible is there is another standard out-of-the-box component called related list single. You can drag and drop that, and you can specify which related list you want to include in your UI, and it doesn't have to be all of them together. You can pick and choose. For example, I can highlight that related list single, and in the property section, I'm going to select show me the contacts related list. Okay, right there. And then I can drop another related list single, and this time I could say show me for this particular account all notes and attachments. Okay. um, you also have the option to conditionally show or hide a component right from the properties panel with zero coding. So an admin can do it as well. You can control the visibility dynamically based on a field value present on that record that is in the context, or based on the logged in user or the logged in user profile. How exactly? Via the set component visibility option. Let me walk you through that a little bit. Let's add a filter. So I'm highlighting the notes and attachments related list single component on the UI, and I am trying to configure the visibility dynamically. So you have the option to select a field that is present in that on that record, or you could go the advanced route and select a field. You can go to that record, or go to user, and for that user select their profile and pick say the name. So so what you're essentially doing is user profile a name if it is equal to um, system administrator. Okay, if that happens, then only render that component. Okay, when I click on done, you'll notice that orange icon, which signifies that this component is conditionally rendered. And what is the condition? It is user.profile.name equals system administrator. Okay. And once you're done with your changes to the page, don't forget to hit that save button. Okay, and then there's another button called as activation, which is grayed out for now, but once you save it, it is enabled. And what that does is it makes your page visible to your users. If a page is not activated, obviously users will not see your changes, and they will continue to see the default pages that Salesforce has to offer. Okay. um, So before you consider developing custom components, that is to say that if you're attempting to reinvent the wheel, it is a good idea to familiarize yourself with what is already available via the standard components menu, and also the AppExchange, and what limitations they come with that warrant going the custom route for you. Okay, for example, at the time of this recording, row level actions in any list view are shown as a drop down button menu only in Lightning. So you can't show the actions side by side like in Classic. What I mean is, let me switch my browser tab, and I have a list view here, and any row level action is squeezed into that button menu. You cannot have these at this time as separate buttons side by side. If that's a concern for you, you'll have to go the custom route. Okay, and list views still do not support dynamic or instant searches, so you have to create filters each time and save them as views right there. And then another example would be there is a standard out of the box tabs component, which lets you drag and drop custom components or standard components in a tabbed layout. Um, uh, this particular component works well, but the tabs cannot be controlled programmatically. So if you want to default the landing tab based on where you're coming from or any other dynamic condition, then you're out of luck and you will have to go the custom route. Okay.